ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
It's the moment California ballparks and theme parks have been waiting for. Today, state officials announced modifications to California's reopening plan. It would allow sporting venues and large theme parks to allow fans back in after almost a year of no attendance. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this busy Friday night. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. The announcement today is good news for Padres fans waiting to get back into Petco Park on opening day, which is scheduled for April 1st. Starting in April, counties in the purple tier will be allowed 100 people into those venues. Attendance will be limited to regional visitors, meaning people who live within 120 miles. Advanced reservations will be required and no concessions will be allowed during the purple tier.
In the red tier, capacity jumps to 20%, which would be around 8,000 to 10,000 people at Petco Park. Suites will be limited to 25% and in-seat concessions will be allowed. Right now, we're in the purple tier, but we expect to be in the red tier by April 1st. We have team coverage tonight, and we begin with ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura. He's outside Petco Park with what nearby business owners are doing to prepare ahead of opening day.
Petco Park is a huge driver for the downtown economy, normally bringing in thousands of fans into the ballpark on game day. Restaurants and nearby businesses say they're excited to at least get some of those fans back. Petco Park hasn't seen fans in these seats since the 2019 season. That will change in roughly 4 weeks when the ballpark is expected to welcome back fans, though with strict capacity restrictions.
It's huge. I mean, the fans it helps drive our business.
Herman Schote is manager at nearby Bub's at the ballpark. They're looking forward to opening day April 1st and looking to add more outdoor dining space to accommodate more people.
And then now having the fans get back in the stadium and in the area after a year like the Padres had last year is just huge, and the excitement is just there.
I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to be downtown just for the buzz of it all.
Brant Crenshaw is co-owner of Social Tap, which neighbors Petco Park. The restaurant closed in December for remodeling. They're targeting a reopening date just before the first game at Petco.
We're doing a complete menu rework and everything, so it should be, great to, basically opening a new restaurant here come about a week or so before opening days.
Crenshaw hopes restaurants will also be able to reopen indoor areas soon to better serve the customers they're anticipating.
Hopefully this is a step in the right direction towards reopening restaurants for indoor dining too. Then that makes a difference for us.
The Padres also expressing their eagerness to get fans back in the ballpark, releasing a statement that said in part, "Our number one priority is providing our fans with a safe and fun experience when they return to the ballpark. We have been diligently preparing to ensure that Petco Park is one of the safest places to be in San Diego this season." Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
And it is not just sporting events. The updated reopening blueprint allows theme parks to reopen with rides. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rena Nakano explains the details and what we can expect if the county reaches the red tier by April 1st.
Californians haven't ridden a roller coaster since the beginning of the pandemic, but we may be able to buckle up as early as April 1st.
So this one's 12/28/19.
North County resident Terry Izaki loves theme parks.
San Diego Zoo, I had a Disneyland pass and a Legoland pass.
Having those annual passes makes her the cool auntie. They allow her to spoil her nephew's rotten.
It was a chance for the family to do something together.
But when the pandemic shut everything down, those passes became worthless.
It's been kind of lonely.
Izaki says when Legoland had their limited opening last October, they went, but it wasn't the same.
We did their Halloween thing, so it was fun to just go in, even though the rides were closed.
But things are about to change. Friday, the state announced updated health guidelines. Starting on April 1st, once the county reaches the red tier, museums, zoos, and aquariums will be allowed to reopen their indoor facilities at 25%. Theme parks like Legoland can reopen both outside and inside attractions at 15% capacity.
All our rides, all our attractions right across the resort, both of our hotels will be open, of course, under very strict COVID protocols.
Parks will allow small groups with a maximum of 10 people or 3 households. Workers must be tested weekly, guests must be California residents, and tickets have to be purchased online. Legoland California Resort President Kurt Stock says they're already planning and practicing ride reopenings.
We're very confident that it's full steam ahead from this time.
Izaki and her nephews are just counting down the days until they can return to playing safely, of course.
So I asked my nephew about that, and he says, "Oh, I want to go." And I asked him, "Do you think it'd be safe?" He's 8, and he says, "Well, we can make sure we're safe."
Rena Nakano, ABC 10 News.
And looking ahead to the April reopening, Legoland is now rehiring furloughed employees as well as new staff members.
1 million vaccine doses have been administered to people throughout the county. That includes both first and second doses. More than 608,000 San Diegans have gotten vaccinated, with 303,000 having received both doses. The 1 millionth dose was given this morning at the Tubman Chavez Community Center. The Del Mar Vaccine Superstation will be closed tomorrow because of supply issues. It comes after the Petco Park station closed earlier this week. Other sites across the county are still open, and UCSD Health doesn't expect another closure at the Petco location. And another possible boost on the horizon. County officials say the first Johnson & Johnson doses should arrive in San Diego in the next week.
A new group of San Diegans will be eligible for the vaccine in less than 2 weeks. Now, this includes people with specific underlying conditions, including specific types of cancer, kidney disease, heart conditions, and type 2 diabetes. But there is another opportunity if you don't fall within those categories. You will also be eligible if your doctor determines you are likely to develop life-threatening illnesses or death from COVID-19.
Puts the burden on the physician to decide you can get one, you can't. And I think that's very, very unfair to put a physician in that spot, and to the patient as well, where they're trying to lobby for themselves.
The patients will have to get a note from their doctor saying they've deemed them eligible for the vaccine. Patients that fall into the underlying condition category will be able to make their vaccine appointment starting March 15th.
The county reported 499 new COVID cases today. More than 262,000 people have had the virus, and sadly, 12 more people died. Over 3,300 San Diegans have lost their lives to COVID-19.
After hours of stalemate, Senate Democrats have reached a last-minute agreement over funding for federal unemployment benefits in the nearly $2 trillion COVID relief package. As ABC's Elizabeth Schulze reports, the Senate is now debating several other GOP amendments on that bill.
President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package is moving forward again in the Senate after Democrats reached a deal on funding for federal unemployment benefits. In a concession to moderate Democrats, the new agreement will extend jobless benefits until September 6th instead of August 29th, but at $300 per week instead of $400. That's a big difference for Karen Smith, who lost her job at the beginning of the pandemic.
And reducing that weekly amount is just horrible. We have gone so long with so little, and it is so hard to work towards stabilizing and getting it all together when all you can do is panic about how you're going to pay your bills.
The COVID relief bill also includes billions of dollars in funding for vaccine distribution and aid for small businesses, plus another round of $1,400 stimulus checks for many Americans. Republicans argue the price tag of the package is too high.
This isn't a pandemic rescue package. It's a parade of left-wing pet projects.
All 50 Democrats in the Senate need to vote in favor of the bill for it to pass. Already, Democrats have been forced to make concessions to moderates in their own party, like limiting the $1,400 stimulus checks to individuals making up to $75,000 a year. Americans earning up to $80,000 would get a smaller check. President Biden says there's no time to waste getting the relief to millions of struggling Americans.
At least 7 million kids don't have enough food to eat on a regular basis. 13 million people are behind in their rent. And the rescue plan is absolutely essential for turning this around.
If the bill passes the Senate, it'll go back to the House for final approval. Democrats are hoping to get the bill on President Biden's desk by March 14th, when federal unemployment benefits are set to expire. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
San Diego State University could hold an in-person graduation for the class of 2021. The university says it is looking into two options for graduates to get their diplomas. One is an outdoor commencement ceremony. The other is a drive-through event. Last year, San Diego State held a 20-minute virtual commencement ceremony with messages from staff and alumni. Meantime, graduates of Palomar College will be getting their diplomas during a drive-through ceremony. It will be held Friday, May 28th. Graduates will take a lap around the San Marcos campus in their cars before receiving their diplomas. Each graduate will be limited to one car and is encouraged to decorate it.
Today marks the 20th anniversary of a deadly school shooting in Santee that killed 2 people and injured over a dozen. A vigil was held in front of Santana High School tonight in remembrance of the lives lost.
I once was lost, but now I'm found.
People gathered to remember students Brian Zucker and Randy Gordon gunned down at the school back in 2001. All of those in attendance mourned the lives that could have been. A 15-year-old fellow student was arrested that same day for the crimes. He's now serving 50 years to life in prison.